Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week at Shrouded, episode 112. I'm your host tonight, A. Greener, and we've got Mr. Wrecked, Thunder, and the All Gamer with us tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Hi!
Ding!
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Destiny today, like we always do. Not a lot going on, really. I mean, of course, we had all the reveals and stuff going on next week, but we talked about all the big stuff last week in episode 111. Go check it out. But today we did get a TWID, so we got some stuff to talk about in there. There was a bunch more like content creation stuff that was thrown out in the TWID. I didn't watch any of it. I'm lying. I watched Dado did like a monologue about shit. I watched that. He says the Edge of Fate is just normal content. Don't be excited. Just an FYI, if anyone's curious what he said, what his comment boiled down to, it's not a game changer, but it's interesting stuff, and it's the steps leading into the future of Destiny. So I was like, all right, whatever, cool, sounds good. And then, of course, we have to talk about the fact that Gambit is now dead forever.
Has it not been for like several years?
Yeah, but Bungie literally said we're not doing anything with Gambit for a long time in the TWID.
Again,
let me read.
The same thing.
But it's official now. All right, all right.
Official. Okay.
So what it said officially was Gambit has always been a PvE VP a game mode with a loyal fan base. Yeah, of 12 people from Shrouded 7. And a lot of it, let's say, funny anecdotes from eccentric Uncle Drifter. As the Edge of Fate approaches, we wanted to share with you all that Gambit will be taking a form of hiatus. Players will still be able to play the activity and earn legacy rewards for transmog purposes, and the activity will live under the Worlds tab as it does now. If there is any specific gear you're looking for, Drifter will still be able to focus them as a vendor. This is not the end of Gambit, though. Besides continuing to support the mode for legacy rewards and triumphs, we do have plans to bring the spotlight back to Gambit sometime in the future with updated rewards and mechanics that players haven't seen since the days of Prime. So, TLDR, they didn't have enough time to build any new anything for the Gambit for the Edge of Fate. I'd be surprised if this updated mechanics or whatever, rewards and mechanics that they're talking about, hit anytime during this content year. So I would say Gambit is basically toast for Edge of Fate and Renegades, in my opinion. If something happens in Renegades, that's kind of possible. But I would say we're probably a year away from any movement at all in Gambit.
Bro, you think we have set bonuses now? They're just going to bring back Gambit Prime with armor that gives you specific set bonuses. All you Reapers can go out there and farm other players again or whatever, farm ads or whatever it is, whichever is which. And that's going to be that. That's all. Could be here sooner than you think, but
I think
that's all. Go ahead.
I think Gambit, like, yeah, it's not getting updated. Sure, like the last update was like bringing back, like the Dreaming City map or whatever. But I think with where it's at, it's fine. Like, it doesn't necessarily. Obviously, support would be nice for it, but like, it's not like in dire need of an update, right? Gambit's still fine. Every season, episode, whatever, I do my seasonal gilding, and then I don't play it for the rest of the season. And generally, it's fine. Like, it's not in a bad spot. It's just like, yeah, there's nothing more coming to it. But I don't feel like that's like the worst thing in the world. And the whole like Gambit Prime thing, I always thought that was weird. Is like, to my understanding, like, yeah, there were like the sets or whatever, right? But like, wasn't Gambit Prime the whole thing? It was like basically how it is now, right? Like the one round set of 3, right? Am I remembering that right?
One round set of 3.
Because wasn't old Gambit, you had to do like 3 rounds in a row, so it took forever, and Prime made it just 1. Okay, so like the main thing about Prime people liked is already how Gambit is now. So I feel like people's nostalgia of a Prime is just really weird. I feel like people are more nostalgic about that season than Gambit Prime itself, because like Gambit as it is close enough. I never understood people like glazing Prime like that.
I mean, the only thing that's going to pull people into Gambit is going to be the same thing that we were kind of talking about before, which is going to be like specific buffs on like armor that you could only get through Gambit. So people are going to want sets just to have those sets, even if they're only good for Gambit. I can't imagine that anyone's really going back. Like, I can't even tell you the last time that I played a full or even gilded Gambit.
Bro,
Yeah.
if the only loot to be gained out of Gambit is Gambit armor, you will not catch
Yeah,
me in
'cause,
Gambit grinding
like-
any armor. No
Correct me if I'm
shot.
wrong. All we're missing from Prime is just the armor sets and then like the weapons, right? Everything else is in Gambit now.
Yeah.
Am I? Yeah. So like, what? I don't get what people like fucking like drool over Gambit Prime. It makes no sense. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like. I mean, they can focus on other things. Like Gambit's been dead. Like again, going back to my joke, it's been dead for a lot longer than they've been willing to admit that it's dead, unless you're in, I guess, 7. But again, like, why put effort into something that no one's really playing and there's not really any benefit for? And they can also be like, oh, we're going away from Gambit because now Drifter has so much more of a prominent role, so we're putting him into other things. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gambit I think people's problem. It's not necessarily bad. I think it's just boring because it doesn't get updates. It's the same thing. I only personally have fun on Gambit when I'm using Strand Titan, just because Strand Titan is probably the subclass I have the most fun playing. But I think it's more just boredom than like the game mode. I really don't think Gambit is a bad game mode. It's just boring because it hasn't changed in so long.
I don't know. You guys waiting for my opinion?
If you have one, I guess.
I only play Gambit now to gild it. So that's usually 1 or 2 days of time every season. It's not even that long, a couple hours each day during Double Infamy weekends. So it speeds it right along. It's fun while I do it. Like, I don't mind doing it, but yeah, it's been the same. But I've said the same thing about Crucible in the past, whereas everybody complains about no update. And it's just, when I look at it, it's like Bungie sees the stats, they know the stats, they know how many people are playing PvE, they know how many people are playing Crucible, they know how many people are playing Gambit. Obviously, they're going to invest their time and effort into the things that the most people play and the most money they make from them. So, Gambit obviously doesn't have many people playing it. There's times where I'm in Gambit and it takes forever to get a match. It's totally absurd the amount of time that it takes to get one. And yeah, unless it's a double week. Double week is usually pretty easy, but other than that, sometimes it can be pretty brutal to even get a match. Especially like Gambit during Guardian games. Don't even bother. Like, what a waste of time and effort. Let me tell you. Holy moly. To get 4 hunters together and 4 of some other class together in the same team, it takes forever. I loved the Gambit Prime and the armor sets. Back in the day, I thought that was really cool. Rect is kind of right. Gambit Prime armor was just armor sets in a different way. So I never even thought of that in the past. But I loved grinding for those. See, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, the point is, yes, bring them back. Bring back, at some point, and put some new maps in there eventually. Would be nice, but I'm in no real rush for it. If they need to take those resources to make the expansion and all the changes to the game subsystems better, then just take it, do your thing. Gambit can wait. Gambit's not a make it or break it for me in any way, shape, or form. The game sucking from expansion to expansion would be a make it or break it. So one is more important than the other.
Templar saying that Prime had an exotic. Was that Malfeasance, or am I remembering wrong?
No, that was just Gambit. Regular Gambit had Malfeasance.
Okay, because
Malfeasance was added when original Gambit was added during
Forsaken
launch.
Yeah.
I don't know what exotic he's talking about.
I'd assume Malfeasance, unless there's another one from Gambit I'm not remembering.
Do you think they would
No.
spark people's interest in playing either Gambit or Crucible if there was leaderboards that were showing people and they could be updated weekly, or they can have all-time ones in the tower? You could actually see people's names. If that would that
Yeah.
spark people
that would
actually
spark
wanting to do it?
that would spark some interest, especially if there was rewards associated with being at the top of the leaderboards.
Yeah, end of
100%.
season, end of week, total games played, total wins, not counting private matches, so people aren't just being shady. But like right now, it's just like, I mean, Shaq's whole thing is like go for glory in the Crucible, really tries to get you going, but then it's just like no one's seeing this anywhere unless you're going into like different web pages. It's like put something up in the tower that I can physically see to be like, that's me right there.
That'd be
I
pretty
think that
cool,
would
actually.
that would get people, I think, going a little bit more.
Yep, that's something. I can't imagine them ever doing that though. Just a note.
Saying would be that it would be a fucking bunch of cheaters at the top of the list that everybody could see every week.
It just narrows down the ban list, if anything else.
Yeah, makes it easier. Ban.
I mean,
ban.
until recently, that didn't seem to matter because the same people are still cheating all the time and not getting banned. Now, Bungie has gone on a bit of a tear the last couple of weeks. There've been a lot of people they've been publicly banning, but most of that hasn't been about cheating. It's been about people being douchebags.
I can assure you, just FYI, we don't usually talk to the chat, but we're just going to mention it. That malfeasance, yes, was you did need the meatball boss, but you could get him in regular Gambit long before Prime. Okay, what the fuck was that?
You're right.
I win. Heck.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, the meatball could spawn on the third, or wait, well, no, because you could do one or two maps. I don't know. It could spawn. Trust me, it could spawn. You guys are, because Malfeasance came out before Prime did. I assure you.
It would have been after Last Wish when all the shit got opened up from that raid being done.
Now I want to look it up and see if I'm an asshole. Release.
Because it would have been after the raid got cleared, because that's
Yeah,
when,
it was.
like, Dreaming City
It was introduced with Forsaken
you know.
expansion, released on September 4th, 2018. It was obtained through the Darkness and Light quest, accessible by killing Ascendant, Prime Evil Servitor in Gambit matches. Boom. Well, that's an AI overview. It might not be accurate, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume it was, because that's exactly what I thought.
No exotic that was ever sourced from Gambit.
From Prime. You may have gotten it while playing Prime, which was probably possible, but it wasn't Prime exclusive.
Yeah.
It released along with Gambit and Forsaken.
Shout out exotic quest that would just drop randomly when playing the game. Shout out Chaperone quest.
What?
Remember the old Chaperone quest? Literally, it would just drop randomly in your inventory, and then you could go do it.
I don't remember that at all.
Or maybe it was playing like ritual activities, but that's how like the old Chaperone quests used to work. You literally just get it eventually.
I don't remember how I got most of any exotic quest, to be honest.
Fair.
Remember what your first exotic weapon was?
My first exotic weapon. I could tell you if I hold on. Don't. I'm gonna just look at the year one exotic list, and then I'll know which one it was. Year one exotic list. Year one exotic list. Destiny 2. I got a list of Destiny 1 stuff.
Fuck.
Oh, I was gonna say Destiny 1 even.
Well, what class did you play on that first mission? Because I could tell you off that.
The first mission.
Yeah, because in the first mission they give you an exotic. It depends on the class you're on.
In Destiny 2?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah, in the Red War mission, because you go to the hangar and you pick up an exotic, and then you have to go out in the courtyard and defend Zavala from the waves of
We're,
ads.
we're talking before that. We're talking like when you started playing. You remember what your first one was? Mine was Mighty Multi-Tool because you could get the strange coins. You could purchase it from Zur. I remember that 'cause I was so hyped.
I don't remember what exotic I had in Destiny 1. I played that so long ago, and I only played the launch version of Destiny 1.
I know what mine was because it was really stupid how I got it.
What one?
Okay.
It was Galley.
Ooh.
Because so once you hit level 20 and vanilla D1 is when you could equip legendaries and exotics, right? So I hit level 20. First thing I do is I go play a combined arms match, and I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard, and I get fucking Galahorn as the reward.
Oh yeah.
So literally, I hit the jackpot.
Yep. Only way to get invited to raids.
And then I proceeded to not do a raid for like a year.
Okay, I don't know if this was my first exotic, but it's definitely the exotic I used most for a long, long time, and it was Sunshot.
Yeah,
in D2.
If you played Hunter on that first mission, you should have like picked it up, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so it's probably my first one too then. But I specifically remember using Sunshot a fuck ton in the Leviathan raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just remembering it. So yeah, I definitely use that a lot. And according to this list right here, we've got okay. All right. Oh, hold on. Scratch this.
Rec, do you know what your first one was?
Why don't we get this many
No,
exotics anymore?
That was literally like 13,000 hours ago.
Okay, so Borealis was a launch exotic. I've never even used that gun. Cold Heart. Ooh, I did use Cold Heart a lot for the skulls in Leviathan raid. Darcy. No one cares. Fighting Lion. No one cares. Graviton Lance. Never used it. Hardlight. Don't care. Legend of Acreus. We used a bunch.
Oh, Hardlight. Hardlight had its moment.
Yeah, for people who liked auto rifles.
Well, wasn't that back when Mash Game was a thing? That was like the Mash. Like I used to use it in Corrupted GM because it had all three of the shields.
Oh yeah. But that was like year 4 or some shit. I don't know. Sure. Legend of Acreus. There was a quest to do Leviathan for that, so definitely not in someone's first. Merciless. I remember using that a bunch to kill the bathers. I remember a lot of the stuff in year 1. Might have multi-tool. No, never used it. Rat King, didn't care. Risk Runner. Probably get that super early. Yeah, it's probably good for ad clear.
Ever cared about Rat King? Never did a full raid
really.
with a full team of Rat Kings?
It was an annoying ass quest back then. I didn't get that shit either.
I got it, but I just didn't care that much about it. Skyburner's Oath. Sturm, no. Sunshot, yeah. Sweet Business, for the memes. Prospector.
Titans going into Crucible with Sweet Business and Action War Rigs.
Tractor Cannon, actually, that's a good one.
Great one.
We use that a lot. Vigilant Swing, that was really good for year 1 PvP. And Wardcliff Coil. Nice. That's it. That's all the exotics from year 1. Well, sorry, launch. Doesn't account.
Coil was cool. It was very specific. It had a cool design. It had a cool way of shooting.
I don't remember using it for anything specific in year 1.
Well, it was only good for
Spire.
Yeah, anything that was like kind of listed as like a tank because it had to be like a vehicle. That's where it did more damage.
Well, when Spire the raid first came out, there was the coil glitch people were abusing. So that was like its big moment. Really, was that?
We don't abuse glitches though.
Sure we do. I don't even remember.
That's a lie.
I don't even remember the Wardcliff glitch though.
It was like if you if you swapped to another rocket, picked up a brick, then swapped to Wardcliff, you would have full ammo on your Wardcliff.
Okay.
Because it was the world's first Spire team got like a lot of shit and were basically being called cheaters because they used that to clear it, even though like every top team was doing it, but because they won, they got shit for it.
Makes sense.
I didn't care about day 1s back then. I had no I just didn't pay attention to them. Didn't give.
Yeah,
no
to be
fuck.
fair, they were nowhere near as big until like really Wish was like the first like giant race.
I can't even. I
King's Fall was pretty big.
Well, sure,
back in
yeah,
the day,
D1, yeah.
probably,
I guess the first like, well, actually, not even sure. Levy would have been the first big D2 one. You get my point.
Yeah.
Wish was definitely the biggest one at the time by a lot.
Great raid.
Yeah, that was a big one. I remember hearing about that, and I still didn't care about the game that much back then.
Look where you are now.
Well, I was even doing this back then. It just it took me a long time to. I don't know. I wouldn't even say I like the game now, to be honest. But it took me a long time. It took me a long. It took me a long time. I really started playing a lot more when the seasonal system came in, which is ironic because Shadowkeep was like the worst expansion ever.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't that good. It has the absolute worst raid in the game. Sorry,
dude. Compared to Curse of Osiris, what are we talking about?
I don't count those as expansions.
What do you mean? Curse of Osiris was a great strike.
Yeah, dude, they had like 3 good strikes, and that was it. Like you can't.
Yeah, but when I think of expansions, I skip over those. I think of them as like seasons.
Mercury.
I mean, in today's standards, yeah, they're just seasons. But at the time, they were listed as like DLC expansions.
Anyway, to me though, it goes year 1, it goes Forsaken, it goes Shadowkeep, which was garbage, and then Beyond Light, which was not great, but way better than Shadowkeep was. So, like, I don't even think of like when I'm going through the list, I do not think of Warmind or Curse of Osiris as being anything at all. What was the worst raid? Well, technically the worst raid is COS in my opinion, but GOS is really close to it.
Ooh. Sure, there's some people that'll give some hate on that.
Everyone gives hate on that. There's a lot of GOS lovers. I don't know. It's the whole tether mechanic is so boring and stupid.
Those people have the Garden of Salvation mind virus, so you can't trust anything.
Yeah, and COS, the first 2 encounters of that raid are so mind-boggling, fucking annoying, and stupid, and boring, and shitty that like I rather do the jumping puzzle at the beginning of Eater of Worlds 1,000 times instead of playing COS ever again.
My worst raid is a very like basic opinion. My least favorite raid is Ron by far. I hate that raid.
Actually,
but that's
love
not
Ron.
a very. Yeah, I don't know. People apparently people are like liking it now, but like I don't know. I feel like I remember when it launched, everyone hated it.
Did you
I always liked it.
Do you hate it more or less after you did your solo stuff?
Yeah.
I hated that raid. I remember vividly my second run of the raid, the day after contest was over, in the middle of second encounter, and I remember saying out loud, "Damn, this raid fucking sucks." So I've hated it since the launch, to be fair. But no, I mean, maybe I guess because obviously, like the mechanics not working normally don't like mean you're gonna wipe, right? But obviously in solo, it could be the life and death if a node just doesn't turn on for whatever reason. But I don't think even doing challenges in the raid would matter. I'd still hate that raid. I think it's just I just think it's dog shit. I don't care how I'm doing it.
I'd still say DSC is probably my favorite.
A lot of people like DSC. It's
I like
quick,
DSC.
easy.
Yeah, I know it's not a hot take or anything like that. I thought that they were very creative with it. Obviously, the music and everyone telling you to the lullaby is beautiful, but it also like how they cut off the background music as well to make it more. Yeah, always love that.
Spacey.
More spacey, exactly.
I
don't like Ron that much. Personally,
my music slider is on 0, so I don't know what
any Destiny music for the last.
I don't know what Destiny or Deep Space Lullaby or whatever it is even sounds like. The only time I've turned my music on for Destiny is because people used to make fun of me in King's Fall, and they were like, "You need to turn it on for when Orcs comes up out of the thing." And I'm like, "Why? Why?" I did it once. I don't remember being amazed and didn't care. But yeah, I'm sure I've heard Deep Stone Lullaby on like YouTube or some shit at some point, but I've never heard it in game. Not that I know. My favorite raid is Prestige Leviathan, hands down. It always will be. I don't think you can beat that raid.
Okay.
It's just so good. It's so fucking good. I love it.
Nice.
The last encounter on Prestige. Chef's kiss. Also, I like dogs. Dogs was always fun. Bathers was boring. Gauntlet was just fun. It was fun. Just enjoyable to do. I don't know. I like that stuff. I liked it a lot. I'll always remember Prestige Leviathan.
You don't want to try and guess people's ghosts now in the new raids?
I've only done Salvation's Edge once.
I like the creativity with it.
I think Salvation's Edge is fine.
mechanic.
I don't want to do the same
Wow.
encounter 3 times in a row, first off, which is dumb. I
Mhm.
hate that shit so much. It's like, why do you do the same encounter 3 times in a row? You think changing it slightly, throwing a boss that is super easy to DPS check in the middle of it makes it different encounter? Because it doesn't. It's the exact same encounter. And then the third time, it's just the exact same encounter, but longer. Like, it's no different. I think Verity is, I can't give an opinion on it. I kind of understand how it works. They kind of showed me and told me, and I get it. I think it's neat, super cool to figure out the first time. To farm, nobody wants to do that shit. And then
Verity
the
would be
witness-
great if the game didn't have a shit ton of desync and fucking memory leaks. Otherwise, it'd be awesome. But when you
And the
go in
witness-
there and you see fucking symbols all over the wall that don't actually exist in any of the puzzles, that's a problem because the game has freaked out and a memory leak has caused you to see more than one symbol concurrently. You know, it's great. It's awesome. Love Verity. Never buggy at all. It's a shit encounter. Fuck that
So
encounter,
anyway, there's that.
specifically.
I remember on day one, people were like praising Verity as like the best encounter ever made. And now everyone fucking hates it. Well, not everybody, but people don't like it because of that shit that you're talking about, and other reasons, and trying to figure out people's ghosts and whatnot. And then what you mean? I mean, the witness fight was fine. It's a good encounter. Nothing. I don't have any complaints.
This
about
may
that.
be a hot take, but I think Verity's actual mechanics are too complex for a game like this.
Yeah, I disagree with that one.
For a normal LFG, absolutely it would be.
No, just in general. I think there is a balance to be maintained to keep the mid-tier gamer engaged, and I think Verity takes the mechanic level too far. I don't think rating or any I think every activity in the game should be designed for the mid-tier gamer, not necessarily the hardcore casual or the hardcore player or the low manner or the super rating in-game enjoyer. I think there's a happy median there that keeps more people or brings more people into doing it rather than pushing some people away. So I don't think raid mechanics need to be super complex. I think they need to be just complex enough to be interesting, but not so complex as to make people say, I don't want to do that because it has a reputation for being hard.
I respectfully disagree with that point. I think you need to have that difficulty spike for something like a raid. Because first of all, if you're going into that activity, unless you're all knowing exactly what you're doing, even on a normal raid, you're in there for a minimum an hour. I'm not talking about cheesing anything. If we're going into anything, you're in there for at least an hour, maybe 2. And if you're going into that kind of an activity, or you play any game where you're doing a raid, you have to have coordination, you have to have communication, and there needs to be some kind of a spike so that you can't just go into it by yourself and just do what you do in any normal activity where it's just mow down enemies, loot, shoot. You need to have some kind of a spike to keep people engaged.
I think
I don't think Verity's it, personally.
in my opinion, Edge has the same problem that Goss has. Goss, for whatever reason, just developed a really bad reputation among casuals. So people, I mean, on my raid tier list, I have Goss as a B tier raid. Like, it's not my favorite raid, but it's not bad. But I think the reputation is just so shit for that raid. People just avoid it like the plague. But I feel like Goss's problem is people just do their one run is a div Sherpa with like 3 of the people have never touched it, so of course they think the raid's bad because they did it with a bad crew. I think Edge has the same problem. Day 1 was so insane that people just think that raid is like the hardest thing ever created. When really, that raid came out a year ago, guys. The raid is not hard anymore. It's been power crept already. I think like Witness is a guaranteed 1 phase. Herald is a tight 1 phase, but like an easy 2 phase. And the other 3 encounters are just ad clear with mechanics. Like it's not that hard of a raid. So I think people are just still avoiding it because they think it's hard when it's not at all. Like don't get me wrong, yes, it is a step above every other raid in the game, but to call it hard is a stretch. Even on Master, isn't even that bad
I'm not
anymore.
calling Salvation's Edge hard.
I know. I'm just saying, like the general like kind of stigma.
It's just verity.
I know. I'm talking about like just the general stigma among the community is the raid is just too hard, which is just not true at all.
They talk about
Goss definitely isn't.
mentioned
if I get a group with like Hoppy and my usual raiders, I'm going to talk over you, Greener. Shut up. We can do a normal Goss with no cheese in under 30 minutes. Dunzo. Easy. It's not a problem.
I know, talking about chat in a podcast is cringe, but I want to point out, Serial Spoon just said people hate Goss because it's buggy. It's not at all. The only bugs in that encounter that are like ever a problem is occasionally a moat going through the floor, which one doesn't happen very often at all. It's actually, one, also it's not a problem of the raid, it's just the moats system in general. Same thing in Gambit, they just go through the floor for some reason every once in a while. But besides that raid's not very buggy at all. Like that raid works fine most of the time. The tether mechanic never really bugs out. I've never seen it bug out. It's just people are bad at it. It's as simple as that. And div puzzles is literally just people need to stand in certain spots. And if people don't do that, then it looks like it's AIDS. But it's because people aren't standing in certain spots.
People don't like Goss because Final Encounter becomes a shit show because people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
That raid, the only bug in that raid is just moats. But besides that raid does not bug ever. That's just false. I don't want to call you out, but that's not true. Back to Edge, in terms of how I like it, I have it at top of A tier for me in terms of raids. The only reason it's not an S tier is third encounter is the most miserable dog shit ever. I think first encounter, good, not great, but good encounter. Herald, great encounter. Verity, my favorite non-boss encounter in Destiny history, in my opinion. I love Verity. When it works, of course. It does bug, but when it works, it's amazing. And then Witness is one of the best boss encounters we've ever gotten, in my opinion. But third encounter is just horrible. It's literally the third encounter of Vow, but with all the fun stuff of that encounter removed. So if third either didn't exist or was completely different, it would be an S tier raid, in my opinion. But third encounter is just such a drag. And the transition to that encounter doesn't help either.
I got a question. You'd mentioned because of how hard it was on day 1, it's got such a bad reputation for being such a hard raid. But like Last Wish was arguably a much harder day 1. Not arguably, just hands down. There was only one.
Absolutely was. Yeah.
Why do you think it didn't? Like Vault is just as hard as Verity. When you think of mechanics,
a different reason that Last Wish was hard. Last Wish wasn't hard because of the puzzles or because of the mechanics. Last Wish was hard because of the power grind. Remember, this is that back in the time where you still had to power grind to go into raids. And in order to be the appropriate power to even get into that raid and not be at a huge delta, you had to do some serious engram cheesing to make it happen. Your regular player did not have enough time to grind it out to be at an appropriate power level to be in there. You were going in there having red bars just nuke the fuck out of you.
Yeah, top teams at Riven in the day 1 were like 40 levels under. Like top teams. Like that there's a difference in difficulty between the two raids. Edge's difficulty was just from ad density and the type of ads in there. Dread on contest mode is like it's oh my god, they're awful, man. Like Dread on contest is so horrible. Wish, if people had time to level up, it wouldn't have been as long as the day 1. I'll say that right now. Like it really wouldn't have been that bad if people had more than like 3 days or whatever to level.
The last time you did Riven, legit.
I did one like a month ago, I think.
Oh, wow.
But to be fair, I'm on the Sherpa team, so there's an asterisk. It's kind of my job to play the game. But yeah, most people, they're not doing Riven legit.
I don't even think.
I lied anyway. We did Riven legit during the game to give.
Oh yeah, true that.
Raid too. Yeah. And
But
we kept
to be fair,
losing our comms. Thanks, Legacy.
Wish and Edge's day ones were both so long because they both are the two raids that have the puzzle encounter. You know, Vault from Last Wish took up like half of that raid's race, and Edge, Verity took up a majority of that race. Like, we would have had more than one team clear in 24 hours for Edge if Verity wasn't, as confusing as it was. So, there's that.
Cool. How did we get on this?
I don't know. We started with Gambit.
Yeah, we got to day one Edge comparing to Last Wish, I guess.
Gambit, specialized armor, specialized weapon. What was your first exotic? Exotics to raids.
That's wild. At least we came up with stuff to talk about because there's not a lot in here.
Wait, I think this transitioned from Thunder getting Gallahorn.
Oh yeah,
That's where
Gallahorn to get into a raid. Yeah. Oh no, I'm looking at the TWID. I like that emblem that they posted there, that red and blue one.
Oh, that's that fucking bounty, Bungie bounty though.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically it's RNG to get. Like, I'm pretty sure that's on Friday. Okay, so yeah, if anybody wants that one, the Bungie bounty for good starts tomorrow. It's going to be basically you need to get a bunch of people together. Where are they starting? We'll be matching from the UK and US West Coast servers. Okay, so you need somebody from the UK, you need somebody on the West Coast for probably the beginning part of it because it's later in the UK. They're gonna host from the UK, and you got to try to get into a Crucible match with them and beat them, and that's how you get the emblem.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So they start with the UK one, and then they start with the US West, or then they move on to the US West one. So basically, you need to, if you want to try the whole time, you need to have somebody ready to be the leader of your fire team that's in the UK, and then when they switch to US West, the person that is the leader of your fire team needs to be US West, because you'll never match from across the country, almost ever. So, and then basically, then you need to match them, then you need to beat them. So that's the system. If you win, you get the emblem. So I tried to partake in those one time. I was using a VPN instead of somebody to get me into the right place. I never matched with them once, and I've never done it again because I was like, well, that was a waste. That was an absolute waste of my fucking time. But it's for the Bungie Foundation. I think like every time they die, they donate a certain amount of money. Blah blah blah. How many times they lose, or how many times they win. I've got no idea. And also something you might want to tune in for is the 7th Chaos, whatever it's called, PvP tournament. What's the draft? The draft is tomorrow, and we're in the draft, so we're going to be picked by one of the 7th Chaos PvP Bungie team captains tomorrow. Probably last out of everybody, but there's a big draft tomorrow.
So draft for? Are you playing in a PvP match?
We are playing in the 7th Column Chaos PvP tournament to support Bungie Day.
Okay.
There was a list of team captains that was sent out, which are, let's see if I can find it quick enough. Okay, they put in a bunch of videos. Okay, team captains. Yeah, here we go. We got Snavo, Defizzle, Ills, Deuce, Calzatron, A Gators, Miss, Special Hero, Brotherhood, IX, Q Hugs, Icon Riot, Merge One, Scream Queen, Nervous, Clean Plays, and Separer. Those are all the team captains. And then the Bungie Foundation tweeted out a list of everybody participating. I'm not going to, well, I was going to say, I'm not going to read the whole list, but maybe I can. Anyway, it'll only take a second. Panto, Guapo Gary, Lord DJ BJ, Sweet name. Vura, Shafes, Mistreated, Scream Queen, Squeezy, Poner, It's Chantel, Omelet, Luigi Style, Jobo, Salt, not Salta Greppo, just Salt. Violet Shade, Bergen Star, Sneaky Beaver, Shrouded Gaming, Ill Physics, Sad Queen, Alex Ape, Fieldy, Hythe, Skizzle, Malachi, XCII, Defizzle, Separer, A Gators, Q Hugs, Icon Riot, Calzotron, Miss, Clean Plays, Elise, Ills, I don't know, Nervous, Deus, Marriage One, Brotherhood IX, Special Hero, Banjo Benji, Snavo, Eversion, Awoken Queen, Bulker Gamer, Tiddly, Forever Parm, Black Dahlia, and Khan. Now, the only reason I recognize most of those names is because there were people raising money for a game to give. But if I were to
We've rated
tell
a
you
few
how
of
many,
those.
if I were to, yes, we have. We've rated probably a few of them. Anyway, if I were to tell you how many of those people I knew without that information, I would say maybe 5 of them. Makes me wonder why bigger content creators are not interested in participating in something like this. Because they asked us, and we're like, yeah, sure, sounds good. Surely they asked them first. And would they just say no or just ignore them completely? Super rude. Super rude.
Well, which big content creators are even doing just Destiny right now? A lot of them have. I've seen a lot of the major guys playing, like Dune, actually, recently.
Yeah, I suppose. But, I mean, it's not like I play Destiny on stream and they asked me. So, I did just tweet. I retweeted the Bungie Foundation thing that mentioned us as Lightkeeper locking in for a good cause. You should go like and retweet it. Anyway, yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait to like get absolutely smashed in front of the entire Destiny community. That's watching this tournament.
Yeah, as long as you have a good personality with it, you're having fun with it, like just engage the community around you. Like, you're not gonna win. Don't.
Well, I just feel bad for whatever captain ends up picking me. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, "What the f?"
Do you even play this game?
Yeah, the answer is no.
Dude,
Anyway, that should be
charity or for children, or for a charity about children.
I should get somebody to play for me while I sit in front of my camera and pretend it's me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Who's the best PvP player? Oh, let's get Joe in here. That'll make me feel better. He's one of the best in the community, probably. Right?
You know, he's not an SGC clan anymore.
He's still in Discord. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just like bringing in a ringer if you're playing volleyball or anything. It's the same thing.
Hold on. What'd you say, Rick?
He left us for a sweaty PvP clan.
Yeah, that'll probably make sense.
What are you talking about, like Joe Juggernaut? And I was like, when did he leave?
No, I said a good Crucible player. Just trolling Joe. I know Joe's watching. No, I was talking to JoJo. JoJo J, whatever his fucking name is. I don't know. Repulknik, Reflucknik. I don't know. Whatever his name is.
Probably figure that out before you ask him to help.
No. He's called Mojo Jojo. But he's got a Discord name that's like something. I don't know.
Crumtide 12's brother.
Rekovnik, I think, maybe. Might be what it's called.
Yes.
Crumtide 12's brother.
You are correct.
Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, that's going to be fun. That takes place from like July 7th to like the 26th or something. It's crazy. It's a big tournament that takes place over 3 weeks. I don't imagine I will get much past a certain point. But they also said you need to be available every day in that period, and I'm just like, I'll sign up anyway, but I cannot guarantee that I'm available every fucking day for a 3 week period. Especially since 2 days the last 2 days of the thing, most Destiny players are probably going to be traveling to GCX. So, just saying. Terrible timing. Terrible timing. And then
not going to be any other Destiny creators there. We just him.
Me?
Yeah.
There's going to be a ton of Destiny creators there. I can
nobody
confirm
there.
And that means he's going to be the biggest one there.
No, I've been in Discords. I'm in the Bungie Foundation Discord, and I'm in the Destiny 2 Creator Discord. And there is a channel dedicated to travel to and hangout groups while at GCX. So, and they are very active. So I can assure you that there's going to be plenty of Destiny 2 content creators that are going to be at GCX, unless everybody literally cancels their plans.
Where's it being held?
Orlando. Same place every year.
Okay.
Yep, Orlando on July 25th and 26th. I was thinking about not going this year, but I ended up buying tickets and going anyway. So I'll be there. It'll be fun. All right, what else we got? What else do we got? Okay, Iron Banner is going on hiatus too. Isn't that crazy?
For a while.
Until September.
Yeah, until September. So we're not going to have any Iron Banner. After the last one, which it's in June, isn't it? It's coming up. I don't think there's one in July, but there might be. Anyway, but after the next one that's coming up, which is in 2 weeks, I think. I'm pretty sure. There's not going to be another one until September. Huge. That's all I got. There's no what it says here. When the Edge of Fate launches July 15th, Iron Banner will be on a hiatus for a time. After centuries of nonstop work, Saladin will be taking a well-deserved break and will return with his PvP game mode to the tower in September when the Ash and Iron major updates arrive. Those of you looking to scratch the Crucible itch, we'll still have a variety of game modes. For starters, Heavy Metal will be back as an event in the future. Also, starting July 29th, Trials of Osiris will have new weapons and armor to earn as you prove yourself every weekend through September. That's fine. I'm good. I'm happy with that. We'll kill some new weapons and armor and trials. Love it. We'll have further details of future TWID, PvP playlist updates, blah, 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 blah. What does this part say? Cutting Edge allows only featured seasonal weapons, armor, and exotics to be used against your opponent. Oh, they're talking about Cutting Edge. Playlist called Cutting Edge. So there is a playlist called Cutting Edge on week 1. Cutting Edge allows you to use featured seasonal weapons, armor, and exotics. They're really rolling into this. You can only use seasonal shit. Mm-hmm. This will provide a fun space not only to focus on newer gear, but to focus up the meta in some ways. We're excited to see how the weapons rise to the top and builds players come out with outside of the tried true exotic pairings that we commonly see today. You think that's going to be a popular?
I kind of like that, actually. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Why not? Like, you're getting rid of the sweats that rely on certain exotic pairings, and you have to use
people that sweat don't need to rely on whatever. They'll just steamroll everybody in the playlist anyway.
That's fair.
And if it doesn't have skill-based matchmaking, if it's just CBMM, all you're gonna have is a bunch of people running around with their uninfused gear, feeding people in their 50 streaks. That's what will happen. I don't want to be a downer about it, but I don't foresee the playlist being anything special unless the PvP content creators pick up on it as a main thing they cover and they say it's good. It's not going to go anywhere.
At least they're trying. Again, at least they're trying to deliver something different. I like the seasonal aspect to it, and that you're only going to have a limited weapon pool. it's obviously going to focus very much on having one or two. But then again, that just goes to the grind of making sure you actually get the weapons that you need. The armor, I'm sure, is going to be pretty easy to.
My biggest problem with this specifically is that I feel like it's just this game mode's going to be so underpopulated that it's not going to be fun to queue up for. You know, like it might be exciting for a very short period of time. People are like, oh, different weapons, but then they're just like, I'm just gonna play. Like, even if the weapons are good, and they're like, oh, these weapons are good, they're just gonna go and play in the regular playlist with them. They're not gonna play in this one. Like,
So
I
there
don't
would
know.
need to be specific rewards then. I see what you're saying with that, and there would need to be specific rewards only through cutting edge, whether it's emblem ships, shaders, whatever, what have you. There needs to be something cutting edge specific that you can get out of it, like, or even it's like you can only get this exotic dropped from playing cutting edge.
I mean, that sure worked for heavy metal, because let me tell you, I played exactly 0 games of heavy metal, but I still have my Sparrow.
You know what? Okay, well then, and they made money off that. That's good enough for them. As long as they're making money, they're solid. But let me tell you, you should have played heavy metal, because listen, I played heavy metal so I could get the title and guild it, and you know, I had an okay time. I'm just never gonna go play it again unless I can guild it again. So
I watched
my
enough
point-
heavy metal to know it was not for me. It was a party
It's
mode that I
just-
would play with my friends, but I'm not going to go play that with the general Destiny population. Doesn't sound fun at all, not in the
It was-
slightest. And I'm a
all right,
PvP
all
guy.
right, all right, grumpy old man. It was fun. it was fun.
It was different. Also, if you didn't read how to play it properly, you would get wrecked, because I just didn't read how to use everything in it. My first 2 matches, like, why is everyone shooting these missiles? How do I do this? I was like,
Anyway, no.
those instructions.
To be fair, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. It wasn't great. I would never play it unless there was, and this is the point that we just made a second ago, I would never play it if there wasn't a reward that I didn't want.
Exactly.
Okay, that's the key part. So we got these weird sparrows. Wasn't really the thing because you could pay to win those, right? Totally fine. But my seal was important to me, so I got my seal, and then I was actually mad. I was like, oh man, it's only a week, and I procrastinated and didn't do anything until the last day. It's like, and then I complained a bunch. I was like, don't make these things a week, make them longer, because I didn't play anyway. And then I did it, and I didn't think I'd have enough time, but it only took me like an hour to guild it. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And then I guilded it, so then I was good. I was happy.
Got to break the seal.
But when's that? They say they're bringing it back. Am I going to be able to guild it already, or do I have to wait till next year? Like, I'm kind of curious how that works.
Well, in a month, all your guilding is going to reset.
It will be a new season. You're right. Shit, I got to do my GMs. I haven't done them yet.
They're easy. You'll be fine.
I got to do my Iron Banner too. I think I'm like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 wins away from the guild. So I did a bunch the first week, and then I didn't do anything since.
Yeah, GMs aren't anything. I mean, Sunless Cell is like can be at the boss battle, but you just got to burn quick.
I'll just get some people that are incredible at it and carry me, just like I do every season.
Get one Titan with strongholds and a sword, and they can just sit there while you kill everything. It'll take about 16 minutes per GM, but it's basically unfailable at that point.
Okay.
But you see Thunder saying "shut up," but he knows I'm right. You can you can totally cheese your way in 16 minutes every single GM in the game, featuring one Titan who just stands there blocking literally the entire time.
Don't subject yourself to holding block for 20 minutes. It's not fun.
Or just go into a GM with Chris and just let him do it.
I'll just get
Just get Brett.
I'll just get Rick to carry me.
Listen, I will sit there holding the block button down while I watch YouTube, and the rest of you play the GM. It's fine.
All right.
Hey, as long as you're contributing, Rect, I think that's still a win.
Yeah. Strongholds is the most boring, brainless build I've ever seen, according to someone in our chat.
It is.
It absolutely is, and he doesn't care. And that's the thing. No one does. It's all good. All right, let's move on, though.
It was fun the very first time I used it because it's like, I can't die. This thing, we're just going to steamroll this thing because everything's looking at me and I can't die. And then about minute 5 in, you're like, all right, this is the polish is quickly falling off of this build. I'm getting a little bored. And then by the end, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. One of you other two do this time. Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're moving on. Next thing is they have walked back the shooting range being available 3 weeks in a launch of Edge of Fate, and it's coming on July 15th, so that's good. I think that's great. Yeah, absolutely. Why was it even a thought process to have that released the third week?
15 years to bring it in.
Well, I think it's weird, and obviously they're like, we can't have it ready by July 15th. Like, I don't. They're fucking. But
does
anyway,
all this stuff that speaks to them not having enough time to do things worry you about the Edge of Fate launch at all?
Well, I don't think the Edge of Fate is going to be crazy good anyway. To be completely frank, this is
your expectations.
They're doing these new double yearly expansions. We're going to get this tiny little story that kind of kicks off this new arc. It's not going to be anything crazy. You might ask some. You're going to have some questions. You're going to just do some stuff. They focus probably all of their resources on revamping weapons, armor, and the portal, and then they put some teams in the raid. I think people really need to temper their expectations as to what the Edge of Fate really is, because if they've been used to regular expansions over the last, even some of our expansions haven't been like this. Lightfall is going to have more content than Edge of Fate. I hate to break it to you, but if you think this is going to be more comparable, it's just different type of content. Anyway, point is, it's not going to be crazy. We're going to get a little bit of story, maybe a strike. We're going to get all the armor and weapon revamps and the raid and the portal. That's it.
I mean, the armor and weapon revamps could be, I won't say enough, but like it would be a good like grindy focus for it in terms of
good
story-wise
to building for the but it is a good start in building for the future of what they want to build.
Agreed.
Like now it's going to be easier for them to bring in weapons and armor that are interesting to us. I think personally, and it's going to make equipment, or it's going to make activities give us more reasons to grind them in the future to upgrade all of these weapon tiers, which is their end goal, is to get us to play the game more, I think. So my hope is because they wasted all of this energy and resources on this during the Edge of Fate, that Renegades is a lot better than the Edge of Fate. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least, because they won't have to waste all these resources and energy on these changes, or they're going to announce some other crazy changes that we don't need for Renegades. I'm not 100% sure, so we'll see. So
calm down,
but I would imagine Renegades should be pretty good, because they don't have to build a raid for Renegades.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to do weapons or armor or portal revamp. They can just focus on the content. Hopefully it'll be good.
Just focus on making their Mos Eisley sandbox and strike on a Death Star. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be a raid, and it's going to be a sparrow race on the Death Star, and you have to, exactly like Luke, that would actually be pretty sweet.
As long as the raid is good for the year, I do not care what they do. That is my only request. Raid is not dog shit. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
They can do whatever they want with the game besides that. Just make the raid good.
Okay. Cool information.
Smash cut to an hour and 45-minute raid race.
I don't care if like the raid can be easy as long as it's fun to play. Like that's the difference between Deepstone and Ron. Deepstone's easy but actually fun to play and not boring. Ron is both easy and boring. So as long as the raid's fun, I don't care how long the race is or how hard it is.
I can't do the race. Make me sad. Anyway, I've never completed a day one race that wasn't an easy raid. So I completed DSC and I completed Ron. That's it. So the 2 easiest day ones in the history of Destiny.
I may take a very super casual stab at it, but only if the people that have all said, we could do that, all align on that day. I'm not fussed about it. I am no longer the person that wants to stay up for, 16, 20 hours trying to burn through that shit, getting angry at the people that are with you, getting yelled at for no good reason by the people there. Nah, fuck all that.
It's not that I don't want to, it's that I just can't physically. Just get sleepy and just be like, I'm done.
Yeah, that's fair. I enjoy them for the most part, but it is what it is. Next one, maybe. Did anyone read this Ada 1 shit? Because I didn't.
I did.
All I'm
What
saying
is it
is that
about?
she's going to be useful again.
They're just talking about the Ingram stuff for your 20 or whatever.
Players can access the necessary materials to unlock armor customization currencies, but they have been simplified, removing activity-specific requirements and introducing flexible, activity-agnostic objectives for optimal pathways and progression modifiers.
Okay.
They're making our armor bounties easier. Yeah.
Okay, so she's still just for synthweave shit?
Yeah.
Well, she's going to have the 20 Ingrams as well, or the 20 exotics that we know about for your account here in a month.
Ada 1, by the way, for players with exotic armors at the launch of Edge of Fate.
Yeah, so basically what the big thing they're adding for Ada is you can essentially select a armor. It's like the stat packages, right? We talked about last week. Like Paragon gives you primary stat as melee, and then whatever super primary melee second. At Ada, you can essentially focus whichever one you want.
Okay.
Is it a random exotic that you get?
They didn't talk about it much, but that's my understanding. Yeah.
What I'm looking at here, well, maybe when you right click on it, you get a chance of picking which one you want. I'm not sure.
I'm looking at the image right now. Focus
with a Paragon archetype guaranteeing super as a primary.
Yeah, I see that. It's super and melee, but I'm wondering if you right click into that, you get a choice of the exotics, or you just get a random one.
I think it might be a separate thing. Maybe you click that, and then whenever you focus something at Rahul, then that kicks in. So your Rahul focused exotic will have super and then melee. Maybe
this is tied to the 20. Everybody's going to get 20 pulls of exotics for their account, right? For them to be able to get armor that's in the new armor system that won't necessarily, all of our exotic armor that we have currently, it's going to get defaulted to one of the armor archetypes that Bungie thinks is the most appropriate for the perk. Like Syntheseps is going to be Brawler. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to allow you to get some exotics. If you want Syntheseps with a different archetype, you're supposed to be able to get them. That is how it has been explained in every video I've seen about it. And I think in the last TWID, they explained that as well. I think they're just giving us some more details of what that looks like now.
Okay, so the whole point is to theory craft some new builds with previous exotics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. They talk about which bounties are staying. It says we recommend redeeming all bounties before July 5th. Okay. Yeah, that's what people are going to do. The only ones it says that are leaving are Trials of Cyrus, Gunsmith, and the episodic vendors.
They shouldn't do that because, I will say that bounty prepping does kind of reinvigorate the community in itself, where it's I haven't played in months, but now new shit's coming out.
Yeah, I don't know why they say that, but to help players avoid loss of XP and Glimmer and other wars, provide a quick update of bounties that will be removed from Destiny 2 update. But why even say we recommend redeeming all bounties? Like, you know that people are bounty prepping right now. Like
Of course.
DMG talks about it all the time on Twitter. Like,
When
I
I'm
don't
like,
even say it.
yeah, when we're like 2 weeks out, I'll probably do a little bit of prep.
I don't do any prep. I don't care about that shit. I just have fun playing the game when it comes out, and because I'm
only
not
really
doing day
matters.
one, it doesn't matter to me to get XP for my thingy mabobber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
when-
how they're changing how bounty prepping is going to work. Literally, the only people who would be bounty or all people who are going to care is people who are doing the day one raid because it's only like
Yeah.
artifact power now, which most people don't care.
It's
So-
artifact unlocked. It's
Again,
not
just in terms of
power.
engagement is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you can get like people that normally wouldn't care start playing together and like having like bounty prep days on like a Sunday.
That's
insane.
true.
Yeah, you
Right.
absolutely can. The question is, why? What are they expecting to get out of their batting prep? Because what they're not going to get is seasonal rank. They're not going to get any jump on power level. They may get a jump at their artifact, but that's it. That's all it does.
Yeah, but again, like the reward of this is not like the reward that you're going to get like when the new season starts. The reward is that you're going to get a bunch of people that you've just been chatting with for the past like couple weeks or months. You're going to get a bunch of guys back on. You're just going to be bounty prepping like you have 100 times before, and just kind of getting a little more steam.
Look at this community, man, Greener. Look at that. That's to be commended. Somebody comes into Celestial's chat and is like, "Hey, I want to bounty prep this Gambit bounty. Who wants to run 10 rounds? I'm gonna just post a picture of Mr. Rogers giving him 2 middle fingers and go on about my day."
I'm not saying Gambit specifically. I'm just saying it's like if you're running a few, it's just a good excuse to try and get people back in, like get back in and interested.
I like that. I like that attitude. Here you go. You get my applause.
Listen, if you're gonna go full negative, I have to go full positive.
I have to go full negative. It's my bit.
Yeah, that's totally fine, and I will be.
We
I will be
established on the
cautiously
first
optimistic
episode.
for you.
You'd think for a guy who comes off as so negative, I wouldn't have as many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours as I do in this game, you know?
Yeah, but we've all said that. How many times have we said I'm never playing this game again? 2,000.
never
I say it at the end of every expansion.
Sometimes at the beginning of some expansions.
All right. Anyway, we need to wrap this up. So, what is this non-airy engrams? Starting July 1.
Emissary.
You remember how they said we were going to have another thing we could spin to the nominary manifolds? Well, this is what it is. They're allowing us to purchase at 350 a piece, 350 non-array manifolds a piece, a non-array engram, up to 20. So you're capped. You can only get 20.
Yeah.
And these engrams will reward cosmetics, and the reward things are primarily cosmetic from the entirety of Destiny's system. So, like, did you miss out on the 2 Guardians making a heart emote for Crimson Days? Well, guess what? It's back on the menu potentially, but seemingly random. So
Gotcha.
there you go.
Okay.
And you also will get one every day. 1 engram every day, every week. What did it say? Was it every day for the last week or something?
It says starting July 8th, players will be awarded with 1 additional non-airy engram each day just for signing in. Just be sure to claim it from the emissary.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, that's get player counts up for the day. How many people logged into Destiny today? If you have
I
something,
just want people to log in, get stuff, and go, oh, maybe I should get the Edge of Fate.
and also once you've logged in and you've gotten that, it's like I guess I could run a strike. So it is deceptively smart.
All right, what else we got on here? I don't think we got anything else on here at all. Absolutely nothing.
There's a completely lazy stock image of a cat at the end in the link.
Oh, hold on.
With watermarks all over it.
I'm going to show this artwork. I think it's art. Is it art or is it an actual photo? It looks really good. Guardians will always fight for the right cause. Be so uncontrolled. Right who you live, who you are. You can beat up enemy in a light spectrum, as you can make your own fate. Let's see if it just says.
That is a weird
only
picture of a
posting
cat.
this. I'm not looking at the cat, you weirdos. Okay. Anyway, here's the image that I'm talking about. Oh, it's too big. Ugh. Boom. Some artwork. This is by at Stacy Blapp. Looks great. Great job. You get a cookie. Actually, you just get a mention in the TWID and probably an
Emblem.
or emblem.
Probably gets the emblem.
Yeah. Okay. What's the other? The weird cat? Did you say weird cat?
Mm-hmm.
There's a little link hidden in the final paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exclamation mark at the end.
Ooh la la! Really, a stock photo though?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm offended, but I'm gonna show it anyway. It's offensive. Like they used to do good things. You guys remember when there was good people writing the TWID? All right. See this dosh garn just stock photo of cat. You guys should check out the secret photo I've been posting on the blog in final paragraph every week. I've been doing it for like 2 months and nobody's mentioned it. So I figure I guess I'll just bring it up now. Now people will go and look at it.
I'll say that we're losing
Pump up those
vendors.
traffic numbers on the site.
Yeah, like 2 people are gonna go look. It's not that many. Okay, that's it, right? Anything else?
That's it.
You mentioned it, Devil. I don't remember you mentioning it. I will talk about it in the post show. Do we got anything to plug?
Nope.
Nothing.
The restock.
Oh yeah, restock's a good one. Actually, that's a good point. Look at this guy go. Look at this guy go. Pushing Shrouded Gaming community. Like a
I can still plug even if I'm live.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my god, this picture's too big. Hold on, I'm trying to make it smaller. Give me a sec. Yeah.
Oh, and weekly winners.
Yeah. All right. Look. Woo. Advanced GG. Shrouded Gaming. Lemonade available for all of June. It's Pride Lemonade. It supports the community. Supports the cause. You know, all that stuff from Advanced GG. You should check it out. The links below, or the link will be in the description below. If you use code SGC before midnight on Friday, it's 15% off. After that, it's only 10% off. How does it taste? I don't know. I haven't gotten any yet. But it's lemonade. I'm sure it tastes just fine. Yeah, it's right here. Ooh, look at this. This is the best part is that it's got me on the side and Shrouded Gaming on the other side. Anyway, if you're live in a Twitch chat right now, the link is right there. Use code SGC for 15% off. All right, let's get rid of that. Once again, limited edition. It did sell out. They gave us a few more stock. There's not going to be a lot more left. I don't know if we're going to sell it again, but get some just in case we do, if you want some. Check it out. And then, there's one other thing I do want to mention. I will be live playing Destiny 2.
Whoa.
On twitch.tv/Shrouded Gaming on Saturday, June 14th at 6 o'clock Eastern. I'm doing a raid with 5 other content creators. You may know some of them. There's Sherpa Mind, FX, Shield Maiden, Sniper KH, and Love Rachel. Yeah. So I don't know what raid we're doing yet. No idea. But you're going to see some Destiny content here on the channel. I know. It's mind-boggling.
That's wild.
I hope they pick Salvation's Edge.
If they pick Salvation's Edge, somebody has to teach me Verity really quick.
That's why I hope they pick that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you would do that to me.
For the content. Obviously.
Anyway,
Content.
it should be fun. I can't wait to get into a voice chat with people. Well, I've talked to one of them one time for 5 minutes. I have not talked to the rest of them at all. So should be fun. I hope I don't clash with all their personalities.
Well, I'm sure your experience in doing the raids will overcompensate for that.
I know all these raids by like
Mhm.
hands down,
Hmm.
but except for SE. Man, I know all of SE except for Verity very well. Mind you, I only did Witness one time, and I died like 34,000 times while doing it. So
That's a lot of time.
that might be bad. Anyway, Destiny content here on the stream Saturday, 6:00 Eastern. Be
Awesome.
here, be there, be square. You should surprise them by making it a drunk. Oh my god, you got this is like an official thing you sign up for. It's not like you don't just get drunk randomly because you want to. It's not how this shit works.
Every time we wipe, why don't we all take a shot together? Just throw it out there.
Yeah. 3 of them are probably recovering alcoholics, and you're just like, no, bro, what is wrong with you? Why would you say that? One of them's a minor. Like, weekly winners. Oh, I didn't announce the weekly winners. That's hilarious.
Meanwhile, Greener is toasted.
Yeah.
He's putting one of the something about a Gorilla Grip pussy is playing on his stream, and he's like, I gotta take my pants off, and he moves the fucking Gorilla Grip pussy thing to be in front of his crotch as he takes his pants off like that last time. This is great. I love this. I love everything about this. You want
even
some
happening,
positivity? There it is.
Jesus
idea.
Christ.
Jesus.
All right.
I'm
anyway.
just talking about the time Greener took his dick out on stream. Couldn't see
one
anything.
time. Why do you keep bringing that up?
You couldn't see anything, but he did it, and he made sure to make it clear to everybody that that's what was going on.
Okay, that clip doesn't even exist. It's gone. It's deleted. All right, stop bringing it up.
It'll
No one
always
will
live
remember.
in my memory, Greener.
Oh my god. Also, somebody.
We want to remember, I guess.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Also, what, Greener? Somebody did what?
Somebody sent me a picture of my book saying that you lent it to them.
Your
Have
book?
you checked the soundboard on the server lately?
And then asked me, you posted the video. And I'm just like, what is it?
It's also my intro sound.
But randomly, he posted the video randomly. Like nobody even, I wasn't even there.
I was responding to you.
Okay, all right. But it's not like I said, "Oh my god, my penis is so big." Like I was just having a conversation. Anyway, whatever. The weekly winners this week, I totally forgot to announce. 2300 silver goes to I2 Onyx, and the T-shirt goes to Newbie 104. Congratulations! I hope we got to get this conversation off the podcast, so we're closing out. If you want to find out how you can be part of the Shrouded Gaming community in our awesome Discord and our Destiny community and our 20 clans of awesomeness and amazing stuff, and also our Extra Life Foundation stuff that Gamer was trying to just show you. We do awesome things for charity all the time. It's amazing. It's totally cool. And you get merch for it too. And it's awesome. And you just donate money and everything's... Anyway, join us. shroudedgaming.com/Discord. Check us out. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching episode 112 of This Week at Shrouded. I was your host, A. Greener. Big shout out and thank you to all of our supporting characters today, Mr. Wrecked, Thunder, and the All Gamer. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
You're
welcome.
Great job on the on the response there. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week on This Week at Shrouded.
Bye-bye.